Welcome geeks, my name is Trevor, welcome back to my channel. The other day I was on Twitter and I saw someone tweet, what is your ranking of the 4 MCU trilogies? And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? That sounds like a fun idea for a video. So today I'm ranking all 4 MCU trilogies from the worst to the best, from my least favorite to my favorite. Join me down below in the comment section. How does your ranking compare with mine? Go ahead and talk spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home, all those movies down below in the comments. And if this is your first video here, hit that thumbs up button for me. Also consider subscribing for more rankings, reactions, and reviews, and all that good stuff. With that said, let's hop into the ranking. So I think in no surprise, at number 4 is the Thor trilogy. Now, I think Thor Ragnarok is a very good movie, but Thor and Thor the Dark World just are really mid or bottom tier MCU movies. The first Thor I actually find quite a bit of enjoyment in. When you go over to Thor the Dark World, it is arguably one of the worst MCU movies, but then you have movies like Thor Ragnarok, which is really starting to redeem the trilogy. And obviously we're getting Thor Love and Thunder here just in a couple months, so this won't really be a trilogy anymore, but the first one was solid, the second one definitely was a miss, the third one seems like Thor's really finding his footing. And I think with Thor Love and Thunder, they really found the place and fitting for Thor. They really found the tone for the movies. Well, the first two kind of felt like maybe trying to do a little too much, maybe trying to do a little too much Lord of the Rings in space with a very lackluster villain. It wasn't all that compelling. Thor comes in last. At number 3 is going to be the Iron Man trilogy. I think the first Iron Man is a top tier MCU movie, while Iron Man 2 is a bottom tier MCU movie. And Iron Man 3 is just middle of the road. I rewatched it right before seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, and I just wasn't as big of a fan as I was before. Actually went down a little bit for me, but if you talk about that first Iron Man alone, that makes it better than the Thor trilogy by itself. That's why it is above the Thor movies. But Iron Man 2, I've seen this movie 2 times, and I honestly don't ever want to rewatch it again. I think this could be actually worse than Thor the Dark World. So you have one movie better than the 3 Thor movies, but you also have one movie worse than the 3 Thor movies, kind of making it, kind of contradicting itself a little bit. And then you have Iron Man 3 with Shane Black looking like he's trying to take out Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, trying to like, okay, we're going to do a surgery, and boom, Iron Man's done. So it just kind of contradicts itself from the later MCU movies when Iron Man's still around, like he's not retiring, he's had the surgery for kind of no reason. I felt like everything they did with Shane Black's Iron Man 3, they kind of just erased. Like, Pepper has powers, she never uses them again. So the Iron Man trilogy is a little bit tricky, but I think the first Iron Man is so good that this puts it automatically above the Thor trilogy. It comes in third. The runner-up at number 2, this might be a little bit divisive. I have the Captain America shirt on, I have the Captain America shield right here above me, but at number 2 is going to be the Captain America trilogy. While the first Avenger is a solid movie, Captain America Winter Soldier is a great movie, and Captain America Civil War is a fantastic movie, but it's almost cheating a little bit to count Captain America Civil War as a solo Captain America movie just because it's like an Avengers level movie. With that said, I absolutely love this trilogy. It's arguably one of my top 10 favorite trilogies of all time. The first Avengers movie I don't go back and rewatch enough as I should. The Winter Soldier is one I rewatch at least once a year, and Civil War is one I rewatch at least twice a year. I have nothing bad to say about the trilogy, minus the first one having a couple nitpicking problems with it, but the Winter Soldier is fantastic spy espionage movie. It's like a Jason Bourne and James Bond movie put inside the MCU. You have the contradicting relationship between Steve and Bucky really makes for an emotional punch at the end when Steve says,
"'Cause I'm with you to the end of the line."
Then you hop over to Captain America Civil War, which is like Avengers 2.5, if you want to call it, and it has everyone, all of our main Avengers in this movie, making it for the ultimate emotional showdown, get introduced to new characters, we get Ant-Man tossed in here, we get introduced to characters like Black Panther, and we have so much going down and so much emotion in this movie that it makes it for one of the best MCU movies. I absolutely love the Captain America trilogy, but there's only room for one, number 1. And in number 1 is going to be the Spider-Man trilogy. And I'm a little bit biased here because Spider-Man Homecoming is one of my top 5 MCU movies. Spider-Man No Way Home is my top 5 MCU movies. Far From Home is definitely a little bit down lower, but after seeing No Way Home, Far From Home shot up that much more, making this the definitive, my personal favorite MCU trilogy. From Spider-Man Homecoming and this Spider-Man trilogy in general, they really attack the coming-of-age vibe, which works well for me because that's my favorite genre. So the Homecoming, coming-of-age, trying to find yourself, being Spider-Man, trying to be an Avenger, but you're not quite an Avenger, and you want to do more, but yet you can't because you're still a young kid, and you got to go be a kid. That's the internal struggle that Peter's facing in Homecoming. And there's so many awesome moments with one of my personal favorite MCU villains in Vulture. Has some awesome, emotional, action-packed moments, and Tom Holland as Spider-Man is the absolute perfect casting. Then you go to Far From Home, they're in Europe, and Mysterio I never really bought as a villain until I saw No Way Home, because everything Mysterio did in Far From Home is the reason everything happened in No Way Home. So when I think of it like that, I automatically think that Far From Home is better than I remember, and it goes up that much more, just because everything from Far From Home directly correlates and ties into Spider-Man No Way Home. And then you get to Spider-Man No Way Home, and this is a top 2, top 3, maybe top 1 MCU movie for me. My favorite movie of last year. And this is fan service at the maximum. While I've seen this movie 3 times, and while the first hour is a little bit slower, kind of finding its footing, there's so much in this from nostalgia and characters alone. It really makes this movie one of the best inside the MCU. And as you're comparing the trilogies, you're looking for the third movie to really be a hard hitter, and this third movie is the hardest hitter of all the trilogies. And whether you get moments like this, I mean, just how are you not smiling, having so much fun, just loving these movies? From Homecoming to Far From Home to No Way Home, the Spider-Man movies is my favorite MCU trilogy. Let me know how your ranking compares down below in the comment section. My list is just my list. I think I would be Captain America #1, but I'm going with Spider-Man Trilogy at #1. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Hit the subscribe button for me. Lots more rankings, reactions, reviews coming your way soon. I cannot wait for all of it. I'll see you guys in the next one.